Hi, guys. Welcome to a brand new Sarah Fraser Show podcast. Love that you are here. It is still the first of the month, and our coffee mug, our free coffee mug giveaway is going on. Head over to Apple Podcasts. You know the drill. Leave a 5-star podcast review. Tell me what you like about the show, maybe a future guest you'd like to see on or something you want to improve, and boop, screenshot that, slide into my DMs on TikTok, on Instagram at The Sarah Fraser Show. Send me your address and we send you a free coffee mug on us. So absolutely do that. Free coffee mug giveaway. Please leave the review on Apple. Spotify does not allow you to leave any comments. Leave it on Apple. That would be fantastic. Okay, lots to get to. Last night was PolyFamily, episode 3 on TLC. If you're wondering what the hell is this show, or you've heard me talk about it, you're not sure you want another reality show to watch, this one, this one's insane, okay? This one is nuts. It's about a closed quad, 2 couples in a foursome. They're not swingers, okay? They are, that is like beneath them. And they raise kids together. The women have their own bedrooms. The men go between the bedrooms every single night. They got house rules, honey. You can't be sneaking in, having sex with Sean, getting down with him anytime you want. Unless it's on the calendar, you keep it in your pants and you keep it in the other room. They don't know who the daddy is of some of their kids. Oh, and by the way, Taya, one of the wives, wants to add a 5th. Okay, she's she's pansexual. She's attracted to the person. And of course, she's attracted to several people. So we're going to be meeting her future girlfriend or future meetups. I'm going to do a recap of last night, but even more than that, there's a lot of tea. I'm talking a lot of dirt coming out about this family in Oregon. And Kelsey, if you're watching this show, Kelsey is Tyler's sister. She actually hopped on my TikTok live yesterday. Had a lot to say and a lot of gossip about the family that I'm going to talk about. I didn't air it. She got on my live on TikTok. I tried to record it, but her daughter was with her, and her daughter had like a show on in the background, which I can completely relate to. But it was the audio was pretty bad. So I'm going to give you a recap of what you need to know about last night's episode and everything that's going on with this family, okay? Plus, the Diddy trial has started. Are you all reading? Are you all reading and following this? It's going to get nasty on this pod. And not because of us. Ugh. Sean Diddy Combs needs to just stay in jail. The guy is, he's disgusting. He's gross. Thank you, God, that I never crossed paths with that loser. You know, I was in morning radio, top 40 morning radio for years. So I can't believe, I don't remember if he ever came to Hot 99.5. I think he was more hip hop, like urban station. So he didn't really come into ours, but thank you, Lord. He was all over DC all the time because he's a Howard grad. This trial is so crazy. I'm going to tell you some of the biggest revelations that we've heard so far. And this is only week 1 of the trial. How happy is Karen Reed, by the way? Karen Reed's like thrilled. She's like, get the smoke off me. Now, I know y'all think Karen's innocent. She probably is. They've at least cast in enough doubt. But anyhow, there's one person that's happy about that trial. Before I get into any of it, though, I'm wearing Disney ears if you are watching on my YouTube. And I need y'all's advice who have been to Disneyland. Now, I have been to Disney World. I went to Disney World. We took my niece when she was 9 years old, like 10 years ago. So I have not done another Disney trip since. When I went, it was truly the most magical place on earth. I was a Disney hater. I hated Disney adults. I was like, it's so weird. It's so creepy. Meanwhile, of course, I love how I'm out here, casting like stones, throwing stones when I have like a $300 collection. But, that's neither here nor there. So you're like, girl, you're out here telling people that it's weird that there are adults that go to Disney. Meanwhile, you're housing $300, including like the Osborne, the Barbie set. Yeah, that's odd. Anyway, so we are going to Disneyland. Schman's brother, my sister-in-law, are coming to town with their 2 boys. April 18th. It's coming right up. And I want all of your advice. Like, I want to know where are the best places to go to eat? What are the best snacks that we should have? Where's the best merch? I'm a huge merch girl. I got my little ears on. I'm going to be rocking some Disney outfits and showing those off. So I want the best places to eat, best snacks. What are the must-do rides for 4-year-olds? We have a 4-year-old, an 8-year-old, and then like a 20-year-old, but he's going to probably be doing his own thing. So what's good for little kids? Now, I will say, although I'm open to changing some of the dinner reservations, are there good restaurants at Disneyland? I hear mixed reviews. So Carthay Square, we got in there for dinner one night, and I've downloaded the app. We're staying at the Disneyland Hotel. So we're going all out. We got the goofy breakfast, the goofy character breakfast, the Carthay restaurant one night, which I think has a dress code. And then the other night, we're going to go super cash. But where do you like to go? Where's like a super cash restaurant, lunch, must have snacks, must do, KJ loves cars. He loves Cars movies. He loves the Planes movie. So tell me everything that we should do. Everywhere we should go, everything that we should do. I want all your suggestions. I'm going to be doing various TikTok videos and things. You can hit me up. But you can also email me, thesarahfrasershow@gmail.com, any of your tips. I love Disney. First time we've moved to LA 3 years ago. Never been to Disney. I felt like KJ wasn't really ready until this year. And now I'm like, oh, he's so ready. So that's why you'll see my Disney ears this entire interview. Well, podcast, whatever we're doing. Let's talk about PolyFamily before we get into the Diddy trial. PolyFamily, wild. Episode 3 last night. Now, I will say the show is slowing down for me a bit, although the tea that's coming out about this family behind the scenes is so good. I do think there's just going to be a lot of buzz around this show, and I think there's a lot of interest, and we're out of the gate with a lot of viewers, okay? PolyFamily from the jump got a lot of attention because people felt like this was not even necessarily a replacement, but very much it was giving people a Sister Wives vibe, okay? This family tries to be wholesome. We have Sean, who's like a Cody character. He's admittedly opinionated, kind of a douche, all that. So and then we sort of have Tyler and Taya that are more laid back. Alicia's type A. We've got 5 children in the mix. Oh, okay. It's a lot. So last night's episode, let me give you a brief recap of some of the highlights that happened, and then we'll get into Kelsey joining my TikTok live and also a lot of the stuff that's come out about them on Reddit. So last night's episode 3, Kelsey has given birth to Quentin. We're going to be celebrating Taya has given birth to Quentin. We're going to be celebrating Taya's 29th birthday. I'm like, y'all are only 29 years old. It feels like you've lived a lifetime on this damn show. Okay. We're going to be celebrating her 29th birthday. They're going up to Portland, Oregon, where her family lives. They're going to be getting in a yacht tub. And so we're also seeing that Alicia could not get her milk going, so she could also simultaneously breastfeed Quentin. Yes, you heard that right. Alicia gave birth to her last kid like 2 years ago, and she was trying to pump those boobies and see if she could reignite the faucet, and it didn't happen. But no worries. She still feels like there's going to be ways that she can bond with Quentin. They go to this like baby yoga class together. Like the beginning of it's fine, right? Taya admits that she's having anxiety problems, very like postpartum like, but she's also really nervous about the relationship between Sean and Tyler because we know last episode it came out that Tyler ended up texting Quentin's blood type to the group. And from the blood type, everybody was able to Google and realize that Tyler is the dad. Well, I'll hold up on that, okay? There's some debate about that. So, the guys end up kind of hashing it out at the end of this episode. They go to lunch. They have a bit of a one-on-one. And they appear to have some common, they appear to get some common ground, right? They've admitted from the start, and it will be very interesting to see how reality TV highlights this, that there's no love lost between these two. Tyler and Sean aren't really good friends. They wouldn't hang out together if they weren't in this poly family. They're not, they tolerate one another for the women and they want to be in this lifestyle. And apparently Tyler's like very into threesomes and loves all the trading. Okay, who knew? He seems like the quietest guy, but it's always the quietest ones. So we see them packing up. They're going to be heading up to Portland, Oregon for Taya's birthday. And they say that when you have 9 people, you would think 4 adults with 5 kids that things would go smoother, but it's actually worse. It's torturous. The more people, it's just more chaos trying to get everybody into this van. And there you have it. So all the while, what we're leading up to, the next big like drama in this family's lives is Taya is pansexual and wants to add a woman. Like she wants to add a chicken. We're hearing that, like Taya's talking about her relationship. And so anyhow, that's all like lingering as we go up for her birthday. We see Taya's family. Taya's family are the only ones that support this family. And Kelsey, who is in this episode, she has lunch with her brother and they're talking about paternity and how ultimately, if Tyler is the paternal father of Quentin, that even though Sean's name is on the birth certificate, he is going to have some legal claim if this whole thing is going to go south. This whole situation seems like just a bad idea to begin with. It just does. There's already jealousy. They all talking about what if our relationship doesn't work. Yeah, I think they've watched almost every reality TV show where everyone gets divorced. So Taya's family is the only family that seems to have any interest and is supportive of them whatsoever. They get to Portland. The grandparents are going to like babysit the kids for the day so they can go in these yacht tubs, which by the way, look awesome, which is basically like a boat with a jacuzzi in it. And it's like you just kind of like float along, steer around, and you sit in this awesome hot jacuzzi and you're in a yacht tub. Love it. Amazing. Catchy, like brilliant. Then we're treated to these foursomes like switching and all kissing. They don't really make out, but they all start going in for the kiss. Like Sean kisses Taya. Tyler kisses Taya. Taya is trying to get a kiss from Alicia. Alicia's like not really having it. She's like, girl, back the off, okay? You know what? This is like cute and everything for these cameras, but I ain't down, okay? And Taya is looking for some action. Taya's saying how she loves to like joke with Alicia. She's like, oh yeah, I always like to have a few drinks and I like to try to get in Alicia's pants. Poor Alicia. Okay, poor Alicia. Like, I know this chick is type A, but like, she's like, you know what? I got 2 men I got to like beat off with a stick here every night or, something else. Okay. And now I got you. Alicia wants like nothing of it. She ain't even. So she ends up giving Taya this little peck. It was the most awkward scene last night of the entire thing. And then we kind of lead up to this luncheon, right, with Sean and Tyler. And they're supposed to be hashing it out because Sean is very upset that Tyler very nonchalantly put it out there in a text about Quentin's blood type, which ultimately revealed who the daddy is. And Sean's basically like, you act like a child. I need to parent you. Tyler's like, don't be parenting me. I didn't mean to do it. I will say I've heard from several of you guys on messages on my TikTok and my Instagram, and a lot of you feel that Tyler knows exactly what he's doing. I have to say, I felt that way too. There's something a little mischievous about Tyler, even though he comes off as the laid back one. I feel like Tyler knew exactly what he was doing. He's an engineer. We found that out. Tyler is an engineer. Kelsey told us on our live. He's an engineer not an engineer, sorry. Well, an electrician. Thank you. Close enough. Okay. We got to know measurements, math. We got to know which wire, to detonate the bomb and which one, destroys the bomb, whatever. Okay. The guy's an electrician. He knows what he's doing. He's smart enough. I feel like he knew like exactly what he was doing. So I agree with some of you all who are like, I don't think that Tyler did that accidentally. There's something, he just was like smirking too much. There's something he's a little bit happy to play that trump card. And he and Sean go back and forth about all their insecurities because they're supposed to be all parenting these kids and the kids believe they have 4 parents. But at the end of the day, you can't trump biology. All right. Like these kids have a biological parent. The other parents really aren't the parents. And when this thing whole blows up, like we've seen for Sister Wives, like the kids basically can either come to see you or they can't. Okay, that's basically the claim you have. Sorry. All right. And then we leave it with Taya FaceTiming a woman named Lexi that she really wants to be with or explore because that's a need that is not being met in their relationship. What? on the next episode. We're like leading up to this. This is going to be the season finale of Taya, like out there, by the way, who just gave birth 2 seconds ago, like banging some chick she met on lesbiansforyou.com. I mean, I'm just like, what? This show is wild. But even more insane than the clips, than all this going, like Taya FaceTiming Lexi. And by the way, Alicia also is saying that she's got some real jealousy issues because of the physical connection that Taya and Tyler have. And just as a refresh, Sean and Taya are married. Tyler and Alicia are married. Which it's so weird to me because they just seem like they should trade off and not, it should be a whole different situation. Okay, this leads me to Kelsey. Kelsey, you saw on last night's episode. Kelsey, you've seen on the episode last week. She is Tyler's sister. Came on the show with Jaquan, her boyfriend, who's hot as hell, and has now been all over TikTok. Just search Kelsey PolyFamily. You cannot miss it. It's crazy. And basically is blowing up the family. Telling her truth, saying that she does not speak to Tyler, Alicia, Sean, anybody anymore, and is so disturbed by new allegations out about Sean. Now, I do need to say, these allegations against Sean are super alleged, and I can tell you as somebody that worked in television for 13 years with Fox 5 DC, everybody that is on the TLC network is vetted. Everybody is vetted, okay? Now, do they allow some people with criminal records on? Probably to varying degrees. But Sean has never been charged with being inappropriate with a minor, which is what these allegations are that are all over Reddit. And some creators have even been posting. These are really serious allegations. I would not post these unless I had factual proof. And Kelsey admits she doesn't have any proof. It's hearsay from what's on the internet. And he has never been formally charged with anything. Now, this is where it gets a little shady. There's also been, by content creators on TikTok, a letter from the Oregon DHS basically saying this. DHS received a call of concern regarding Sean Hartless, indicating he allegedly had inappropriate sexual interactions online or via a phone app with a minor child in another state. Sean is currently being investigated by detectives in New Mexico, and limited information can be provided regarding the criminal case. Because of this concern, DHS is assessed Sean for threat of harm, sexual abuse, explanation against the children in your home. Okay, now this looks like it's gone to Sean's ex, because we've also learned that Sean has been married twice prior. Kelsey told us that. That's also on Reddit. He's been married twice before and then met Taya. He does have previous children from a marriage, 5, but 2 of those children are his and 3 are stepchildren. So, and I think I have that right, or 3 are biological and 2 are stepchildren, but they are not 5 kids, all biologically his. Some were from an ex, some are actually biologically his. A lot of creators have been taking down this note because there are so many typos in the DHS letter about Sean. And now there's a lot of debate if, in fact, this is fake. So here's what people are writing. A lot of people online, and one expert on a Reddit feed, PolyFamily TLC, says, look, Sean appears to be a scumbag to me, but I've been a public defender for nearly 20 years and have dealt with CPS and these kind of investigations for years. My first thought when I read that letter was, this has to be fake. No agency writes letters like this during an investigation. I don't believe it for a second. There might have been an investigation. There probably was, but that letter is not genuine. So if you see this letter around, it is being deleted by content creators that are posting it, that follow TLC, because it appears to be not real. So anyhow, is it real? Is it not? I don't know, but it appears from the Oregon DHS, and there are multiple misspellings in it. Now, some people are on here saying that they've worked for DHS agencies, and DHS agencies across the country notoriously put out letters with typos all the time. One person writes on here, Squirrely Cats. I know people want to say that this is fake because of the typos, but I worked for the state of Oregon. You'd be surprised how many of the official documents had typos. I explained it in another comment that I used to work for the state of Oregon. Often these letters have templates and then they are filled in by the person sending them. So Kelsey, yesterday, much like the rest of us, there does not appear to be any formal investigation that we know of, and nobody has filed a legal complaint against Sean. Also, I can tell you from working in television, they 100% did background checks on these people, and he cleared that background check. Could he be a jerk? Could he be a creep? Yes, but so far, we don't have any proof of that. That's why he's on TV, and a lot of people are wondering, okay, how did TLC put them on? Well, TLC knows what they're doing, and they did not put them on without knowing exactly their background. Kelsey also said she doesn't speak to Tyler anymore, partially because of Sean. And one of the things that pissed her off so much is Kelsey allowed her two children to go over and spend the night at Tyler and Sean's house with these rumors out there. And Kelsey didn't even know about them until it's all come out on Reddit and the show. Tyler has denied that Sean has done any wrongdoing and defends him. Jaquan, her man, does have a criminal record, but nothing to do with underage kids or misconduct with children. Also, Kelsey says she doesn't know if the family is going to be doing a season 2 because apparently they are surprised and she's not sure they even anticipated all this would be coming out about the family. FYI. So Kelsey also said on my live that Taya is the worst, that she would prefer that Tyler just stayed married to Alicia. And she says that Taya will never be satisfied with the foursome. She will always be looking for somebody else to add to their foursome, which really, really bothers her. She also says that Sean can never hold a job. She says he does work. Most of them in Alicia, Taya, they all do work, but Sean is the one that can't really hold a job. And of course, Taya is the one running their social media. And right now, they're getting millions and millions of views. So if you want to get down the rabbit hole, help yourself on Reddit. It's a deep one. And in addition to that, the other big news that's come out is there's a lot of people on here that have worked in the blood child science realm who basically say that there is a possibility that Quentin is in fact Sean's. So Kelsey did confirm to me on the TikTok live yesterday that the finale around this show is going to have to do with more drama around who is the daddy of all these babies. And we are going to find out, and the family was willing to put that out there. So there you go. A lot more, I'm sure, is going to be coming out about Sean. He seems to be the one with the biggest past. And unfortunately, he does not appear to have a relationship with his other children from these prior relationships, which is super sad. He seems involved in this family, and that's where he has a relationship. So, and that's what you missed on PolyFamily. Let's move on to the Diddy trial, which is beyond disturbing. Beyond disturbing. Before we do that, though, I do want to just take a moment to thank you guys so much for frequenting and listening to my sponsors. I want to give you as much free content. I don't know about you, but I don't want another subscription in my life. I do 7 pop culture podcast episodes a week, and the best way you can support this show is to purchase from my sponsors. Here are some of the big ones that are sponsoring the show this month. Cash App. Sign up for Cash App. You can use my referral code TSFS in your profile. Spend $5 or send $5 to a friend within 14 days, and you will get $10 dropped right in your Cash App account. I've been a Cash App user for years and years. I send my niece Kimber money that way. My stylist Braxton. I'm just blowing up their spots. But anyhow, that fibroids, Horizon Fibroids, if you're in the DC region, 80% of women will have a fibroid by the age of 50. It can cause infertility, long periods, and you do not need a hysterectomy to cure your fibroids. That's actually fact from Dr. Will Neem at Horizon Fibroids. So if you're in DC, Maryland, or Virginia, horizonfibroids.com and tell them the Sarah Fraser Show sent you. So thank you. Please buy from one of my sponsors. It means a lot, and that's how I can keep the show going. It helps pay for myself, producers, and so much more. The Diddy trial is like beyond disturbing, beyond. Anybody following it this week? Okay, well, it's creepy. Here are some of the bizarre, not even bizarre, I would say sick. Like, can we just find this man guilty as of now? Although I will tell you, I am nervous about two things, which we will get to. Okay, this week in the Diddy trial, here's what's happened so far. The prosecution has highlighted two main accusers, Cassie, the singer. If you've kind of followed this, remember Cassie, the video was super viral of Diddy beating her in a hotel hallway right next to an elevator here in Los Angeles, okay, in Century City, which is right near like a super five-star hotel, mall, I should say. It's a five-star hotel, but also a huge Century City mall, which everybody goes to and is amazing, right? Cassie's one of the main women that is testifying, and she's testified yesterday and today. Also, a woman identified as Jane, according to the assistant U.S. attorney Emily Johnson. Combs coerced the two women into freak-offs that would last days and took place across the country, reportedly. Some of the other facts you need to know. The jury will see actual freak-off videos. A lot of celebrities have done interviews since Diddy has been arrested and in jail, and they're like, I was never invited to a freak-off. I never saw them. Well, apparently there's video proof, and the jury will actually see video. Both sides agree that Combs committed domestic violence. The prosecution on Monday said Combs had committed domestic violence against past romantic partners, and his defense 100% agreed. Garagos, the defense attorney, acknowledged some of the prosecution's unflattering allegations and confessed that Combs has a temper, got violent, did drugs, drank alcohol to excess, and committed domestic violence multiple times. Okay, well, he's a fucking nut. But they say he's not guilty of sex trafficking and RICO charges. Oh, let's go on to Cassie's testimony, which happened yesterday. Very hard to hear. Very hard. This is what she said on the stand under oath. So this is her truth. She said that Combs made her participate in freak-offs even when she was having her period. She had no choice. She said that she mostly stayed and participated out of complete fear. She says, quote, I was expected to have freak-offs on my period, she testified. Sean would expect it. I don't think anyone wants to do that. She also went on to admit and say that Combs hired male escorts to have sex with her, sometimes even urinating in her mouth during freak-offs. In fact, there'd be times where the male prostitute was doing the R. Kelly shower and Diddy was at the same time. To the point, this is like, okay. I mean, I think at this point, I don't think you have kids listening. I don't know. I mean, sometimes this pod is family friendly. Not today. Not today. I mean, you look at the comments of people watching this trial. They're like, I'm uncomfortable watching this trial. I ain't even in the room. I ain't even there. At times, Diddy's kids have walked out of the courtroom. You think? Ugh. I feel so bad for those kids. So bad for those kids. That's your dad. That's your freaking dad. She says at one point she was, quote, choking because there was so much urine in her mouth, she couldn't breathe. And she would say, it was obvious I didn't want people to urinate on me. Sean would urinate in my mouth, not super often, but often enough. Cassie went on to say she didn't say no to this because she was squeamish and high and in the moment with her man, and that is what Sean expected of her in the relationship. There was not a whole lot of control that you have when two men are standing over you, peeing on you. I thought it was obvious that I did not want to do this. Okay, this is so hard to watch. Now, I will say Teddy Garagos is P. Diddy's attorney. Tenny is alleging that all the sex between Cassie and Sean Diddy Combs was consensual. Yeah, right. That's why he settled the $30 million lawsuit with Cassie in one day, because it was all consensual. Yeah, okay. Combs is facing up to life in prison if he is convicted of all counts. Since his 2024 arrest, he has been held in a detention in Brooklyn, and he also has racketeering charges and sex trafficking. But where are that's what I'm like, where are those? So are we just doing kind of character? We're building up and like talking about his character, but I'm a little nervous. Like, where are the RICO charges? Because those are the ones that are going to get him. We know he's a dirtbag. Where's the RICO proof? Where's the sex trafficking proof? But, we got a lot more witnesses to go. And Cassie, of course, is going to be the biggest one, the most famous one. And God bless her. May God keep her and her family safe. She was willing to come on record, her name, and mention it all. And by the way, how great is she? She got a $30 million paycheck. And I'm sure in that contract where Sean Diddy Combs paid her $30 million to keep quiet, she signed like an NDA. She couldn't talk about it, right? And here she is. She gets summons to testify, and it's like that supersedes any NDA, bitch. She go and tell it all, and she is. But this is like taking over the internet, and people are very upset and disturbed, of course, by what they're hearing coming out of this trial. Apparently, it's expected to get worse. Worse. I mean, you have men that say he drugged them, took them across state lines, forced them to have sex with other men, with other women. It's apparently going to get very dark. It's already pretty dark, but it's going to get worse. Ugh. Anyhow, so those are some of the highlights, but God bless Cassie. She's extremely pregnant there. Speaking up, but I just hope there's enough there. I hope they can charge him with with everything. This man should never see the light of day again. Okay, you guys, jam-packed shows for you. Tomorrow, David Yontef joins. Oh, we have a lot of tea. A lot of tea to get to. Is Kenya Moore's hair salon doing well or almost closed? A lot of rumors out there about that. Sonia Morgan dipping out on a restaurant for $1,000 bill. Sonia Rita. No, not my Sonia-rita. Yeah, looks like that could be it. We got that and a lot of other tea. David's here. He'll be back on Saturday as well. And then we're also going to be taking a look at Coyote Pass. Who owns what? Well, now none of them own Jack Diddley, actually. But everything is settled. Everything is closed. So if you need a refresh, we are going to relook at that because people are now wondering what's next and how the family divided everything. So that'll be all this week on the Sarah Fraser Show. A lot of guests coming up too. Bye, everybody.